First at 5, Governor Josh Green today signed into law the country's first ever lodging tax designed to cover the rising costs of climate change. Our Annalisa Burgos joins us now with the details. Annalisa?
Yeah, starting January 1st, visitors staying at hotels and short-term rentals will have to pay an added 0.75% to the existing transient accommodations tax, or TAT. Now that means a $400 night stay would cost an additional $3. Advocates say it's a small price to pay to protect the Aina. Government and tourism leaders and environmentalists touted what they called landmark legislation, aimed to get tourists to pay their share of the impacts of climate change.
If we don't do proper destination management, if we don't keep our beaches properly tended to, if we don't make sure the parks are perfect, people will stop coming here.
Starting in 2026, tourists in land accommodations won't be the only ones paying the transit accommodations tax. For the first time, cruise ship passengers will too, prorated for the number of days their vessel is in a Hawaii port. The fee is expected to raise about $100 million a year for projects that include fortifying fire breaks, upgrading technology, and combating erosion and invasive species. Green said his climate advisory team will work with lawmakers and property owners to set priorities.
There is exposed piping. There are some properties, frankly, almost all the oceanfront properties are struggling to keep up with the projects. But where there is public interest, which is people coming to Hawaii, their safety is on the line, and the revenues would otherwise go away if we lose a property.
The funds are expected to help buffer a loss of federal funding, with Hawaii expected to cover more costs of disaster mitigation. The governor assured Hawaii residents their feedback will also be considered.
Get ready to give us the input, because this is, when we say it's historic, it is a new thing.
While the fee is relatively low, it does have a ripple effect on tourist spending and Hawaii's economy.
A small change in a tax on your accommodations probably isn't enough to cause you to switch away from Hawaii. Now, what it might do is while you're here, you might, because you're spending more on accommodations, you might end up spending less to eat out or something. You know, you might have to pinch your pennies a little bit in excursions.
The hotel industry opposed the measure, but is trying to focus on the long-term positive impacts. Still, executives say they're bracing for a difficult summer.
I am extremely worried about, getting too expensive for the people that come here to Hawaii. And, you always have to balance those decisions. And we're certainly getting up to a point where we need to really be careful and watch it.
Now, the fee, combined with the county's 3% lodging tax and a 4.7% general excise tax, puts a Hawaii visitor's tax bill to nearly 19%, and that's among the highest in the nation. Annalisa Burgos, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you very much, Annalisa.